what I wanted to do was show you what's possible, right? You know how, again, it's the 4-minute mile, where when you see something that's possible, you go, oh my God, that's amazing. But a lot of us see the end product. We don't see the making of these things. So I asked Taryn to actually come up and show us how she does the magic. She's been a YouTube star, and she's been a incredible spokesperson and advocate for technology.
Hey everyone, it is so great to be up here this year in the flesh. Some of you might remember seeing me in previous years. You might recognize me from last year. This was my AI twin that did the co-hosting. This is my 1.0 self. Not as upgraded, but that's okay. So since you're first meeting me in the flesh here, a few things about me. I grew up in Wichita, Kansas, which is known for its plentiful array of windmills and wheat fields, and ironically, the largest number of serial killers per capita of any state in the US. So growing up as a kid in Kansas, when I wasn't playing in the wheat fields or avoiding the serial killers, I was really obsessed with technology. It was my window to the outside world and my canvas of which I could place all of my creative endeavors. In high school, I learned how to flirt with boys on AOL Instant Messenger and build websites. And in 2007, I uploaded my very first video to YouTube. Now, at the time, it was the wild, wild west. There was no money to be made. All of us early content creators, we didn't have expensive, fancy equipment. We certainly didn't have resources. But we had two unique things. One was real-time data, and the other was that we were multidisciplinary. So in traditional Hollywood, as you know, there was always these large teams of people, each one that had a highly specialized role: editors, writers, researchers, cinematographers, directors. But in content creation, we had to get good at all of these things, which was an interesting and challenging prospect. It meant that we had to get very, very good at this, the creative process, which, as any early content creator would know, was about 90% process and 10% creative. We were making a ton of content all the time and experimenting with consumer products, camera rigs, just anything we could get our hands on to make our process more efficient and more scalable. And like many early content creators, I found myself, after about 6 years on YouTube, completely burnt out. I think I said it was unsustainable, the 24/7 content engine, and we just didn't have the kinds of tools that we have now. So I quit, threw in the towel, went to long-form filmmaking and storytelling, and it was in 2017, around this time, that I found this article in the New York Times. From jingles to pop hits, AI is music to some ears. And it was chronicling the work of several technology companies in creating music with AI. Now, I'm not a musician. I don't have a traditional music background. I can barely plunk out a few keys on the keyboard, but I love singing. And so I thought, you know what? I'll experiment with these tools. Plus, as a documentary filmmaker, I was having a lot of trouble finding low-cost stock music that was high quality. And 12 months after my little experiment with AI, I released the first pop album produced and composed with AI. And it was such an incredible experiment. I had so much fun. And in trying to explain to people back in 2018 what it was like to collaborate with AI on a music album, I found myself coming back to this, the creative process. For the first time in my career, AI had inverted the process. So I was now spending about 10% of my time on process and 90% of my time being creative on all the things that I'm good at and enjoy doing. And that was really when the light bulb went off for me. So starting in 2020, during COVID, I started doing monthly experiments with AI. I created an AI video clone. I created a time capsule for my grandparents where I animated and colorized their old photographs. I created a children's book with fun little animations. I translated my voice into different languages. I don't know if you can hear this. That's
なんだ
okay.
ろうなど、さまざまな言語を話すことができる人々がたくさん存在します。
I don't speak Japanese. I redecorated a room in my home using AI. I even created a breast cancer 101 GPT using insights and research from my own year in treatment for breast cancer. So, all in all, I found myself very excited about AI, not only because of the creative possibilities, but the fact that I now had this team available to me 24/7. The same team that I used to have to be all on my own as a content creator on YouTube, now I had a number of AI experts. And so when Peter asked me to do a little demo of how this all works, how you can employ your AI team to create pretty much anything you can imagine, I was quite excited. And I thought, well, what can we make in approximately 5 minutes on the stage? So we are going to employ a little bit of movie magic here, but if we can go ahead and go back to my laptop and pull that up. Wonderful. We are going to make an A360 Moonshots trailer together. This is going to be a trailer for the future that will celebrate all of the incredible moonshots that all of you are going to put into action after this weekend. And so to create this trailer, we're going to start with a spreadsheet that I was actually sent by John. Thank you, John. And it contains all of your moonshots. We're not going to be able to fit them all into a 90-second video, so we're going to take like the top 20 of those moonshots, copy them from the spreadsheet, and paste them into ChatGPT. Paste. There we go. Now, we want to make a script for our trailer, and ChatGPT is going to help us do that. So we're going to start by including a prompt here. We want ChatGPT to please organize and condense each of these moonshots into a single sentence, with each sentence beginning with a verb, placed in a list format. This will allow us to have a cleanly structured trailer. So boom, we send that into ChatGPT. It starts generating. There we go. Now we have these nice, clean, condensed sentences representing each of your moonshots. Okay, now we need to go to our, here we go. Here's our little AI team that we're using and the various tools. Now we're going to go and create the cinematography for this trailer. So I'm going to take my second prompt. I'm going to put it into ChatGPT. My second prompt is, now I need you to write 2 image prompts to represent each item on the list for a cinematic film trailer. At the end of each prompt, add the following language: in the style of an epic 35mm film, cinematic color grading, 32K UHD, mood lighting, and AR 16:9, which represents our aspect ratio. So these are terms that if you're a filmmaker, you understand, but you can, of course, customize these terms to whatever you would like depending on the vision for your film. And once we put that in there, we're going to ask ChatGPT to label everything so we can keep it all organized. And let's see if it's done generating. It is. So there we go. We put in our prompt. There we go. Now ChatGPT, which is also our cinematographer, is providing us with these amazing image prompts that we're going to copy and paste into another tool. Now, there's a lot of text-to-image generators. I like to use Midjourney, but for purposes of this very quick demo, we're going to use Hyper, which is a new tool I found. It's free to use, and it provides 2-second video for free based on text prompts. And we're going to copy and paste these prompts into Hyper. So here we go. Here's Hyper, create video with text. There's our first prompt. And there we go. We have our first shot, a wide-angle shot of a diverse and energetic audience, okay? So now, of course, movie magic, I've already done all the prompts here. They're all stored here. And we're going to turn over to our editor, which we're going to use Video Gen for to help us put all of this together into a video trailer. So with Video Gen, we're going to be working with our own blank script. I'm going to take my trailer script, which is right here, and I added an intro and an outro to that script. We'll paste it, generate, and now, thanks to the movie magic of AI, we're going to go ahead and see what it generates for us, or at least the beginning of what it generates for us.
10 years ago, 200 leaders gathered to unleash their potential and pursue audacious moonshots, to develop a proven expert teaching system for dyslexic learners, to open a kids' holiday village for children with serious illnesses.
Okay, so that's the beginning of our trailer. That's just 20 seconds. Thank you. pretty fun, but I felt like when I was making this, it's not Abundance 360 without Peter. We have to have Peter in our trailer. We need our marketing mind. So I'm going to turn it over to our marketer, which is represented by Hey Jen. Let's see, where is that on the screen? Here we go. Hey Jen. It's my favorite tool for video clones, and Peter has several versions of his video clone already ingested, several versions of his voice, and I am going to take the first couple of lines, put it into HeyGen. We're going to generate a Peter video. Once we're all done, we're going to ingest that back into VideoGen, and I also want to change the music because I don't think it's quite upbeat enough, so I'm going to go over to my settings here, adjust the music settings, and here we go with our final video.
10 years ago, 200 leaders gathered to unleash their potential and pursue audacious moonshots. They committed to develop a proven, expert teaching system for dyslexic learners, to open a kids' holiday village for children with serious illnesses, to create an AI-powered financial tool that allows anyone to eliminate debt and create financial freedom, to lower their biological age 25 years below their chronological age, to pioneer an AI-driven platform company that optimizes the invention and use of chemicals, to create a universal digital identity ecosystem accessible to every human being on the planet, to build a company that funds and accelerates breakthrough therapeutics for neuron regeneration, to help 1 billion people live healthier and more sustainable lives every year, to organize the world's smells, to launch a network of 1,000 self-sustaining art incubators worldwide, to build a new travel and hospitality company that enables global, authentic human connections while reducing travel carbon footprint, to radically increase the health of the middle class by reducing the cost of healthy supplements by 90%, to counter the breakdown in civil discourse and harm caused by the attention-driven economy and our media platforms. What's your moonshot? Abundance 360, where moonshots become reality.
So there you have it, a video in 5 minutes.
I love that. Taryn,
the AI version of you just wanted to have emphasis on words.
I think so. Yeah. That was amazing. All right, well, are you here all week?
I'm here all week. If you guys have any questions about content creation, storytelling, filmmaking, all of the above with AI tools, come and find me.
Thank you so much, Taryn. Give it up for Taryn Southern. Does that give you a sense of what you can do? It's a wow, right? Wow. It's not, I want to say it's not sophisticated, it's work, but you have to learn it, but just like you've learned anything else, these tools are free, and their ability to do that's amazing. And I've said this before, I look for what I call user interface moments. I don't know if you remember that. I wrote about this in bold. I said, when I was talking to Mark Andreessen, we used to have this thing called ARPANET, the Advanced Research Project Agency, ARPANET, very complicated network connecting MIT and Harvard and Stanford and military centers and so forth. And it was really hard to use ARPANET. And here comes Mark Andreessen and creates something called Mosaic, which was a layer on top of ARPANET that made it made it useful, a user interface moment, right? And
sorry, could you say that again?
Apple jumping in here. And then Steve Jobs created the iPhone to have a user interface moment. AI is the ultimate user interface, right? There will be a point in not too distant future, it's the next 3 years, you can say, here's some stuff in some files, make me a video. Not far off. So what can you dream? What is possible?